Hey everyone, this is David at Finish Line Factory, and behind me is a 2006 Aston Martin DB9 Volante. So this is the convertible version of the DB9, and it has a 450 horsepower, 5.9 liter V12, made it to a 6-speed ZF automatic. So I'm going to hop in, check it out real quick, and show you guys around. So let's get started. Alright, first DB9 on the channel. This is actually the first Aston Martin that I've driven, believe it or not. So what a way to start them with their top tier luxury Grand Tour, at least from 2006. So you have the classic Aston Martin grille up front, and I really like the styling compared to the earlier versions of Astons like the DB7 and the older Vantage. I never really liked them that much. I mean, they looked okay, but it never really had the same presence that this car has. So you already got the top down. Back here we've got the Aston Martin taillights that we all know and love. I've had these for a long time. A common problem with the Aston Martin styling is that it's too similar to its other models. The current generation Vantage and current generation DB11, they're very distinct in how they look. But you know, very often I'll see a Vantage or a DB9 passing by, and I'll look at a DB9, for example, and think it's a Vantage, or I'll look at a Vantage and think it's a DBS or something. So the current generation Aston Martins have a lot more distinct styling between each model. But this generation, you know, they all look almost the same, which isn't entirely bad because then people will know that you're driving an Aston Martin and not something else. It looks like these are 4 or 6 piston brakes up front, and looks like 4 piston brakes in the rear. Let's pop the hood real quick and take a look at the V12. Now, Aston Martin kind of started this flush door handle design. Nowadays you're seeing it on all kinds of cars like Lamborghinis and Nissan GTRs. But as far as I know, Aston Martin is the first company to do this. So of course you have the upward opening swan doors, and I think is this it? No, that's something else. Where's the hood release? Oh, is this it? Nope, that's something else. Oh, I think I got it. All right, there we go, and it's up. Holy crap, look at this thing. This engine is massive. It just takes up every inch of space in this engine bay. So yeah, 6 cylinders, 6 runners on the manifold. Got your 710 cap right there. Power steering. Here's the jump point. Okay, nice and easy to find. And check this out. It actually has a triangulated strut brace. So all you tuners that add a strut brace that just goes across the top, that doesn't really do much. You really got to triangulate it and brace it against the firewall. So good on that, Aston Martin. So this engine makes 450 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 420 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM. So it's a pretty torquey motor. However, because this is the convertible model, this car weighs 4,145 pounds. So it needs every bit of horsepower and torque it can get to motivate this chassis. And it does a pretty decent job. It does it 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, which, you know, compared to today's supercars isn't the fastest thing in the world, but, you know, it gets the job done pretty well. And this isn't really a car for going fast. This is more of a car for, like, cruising, looking good. There we go. I just kind of suck at closing the hood. I guess this is the kind of hood because it's a very lightweight hood. I think it's aluminum. Yeah, actually I think it's composite. That's pretty cool. I guess it's because it's such a lightweight hood, I have to put a little more force into closing it. Oh, check this out, I got headlight washers. Alright, so let's hop into the interior and check that out. I got the key here. So, unlike the Vantage, which has this, I think, a combination key, this has a traditional key and a remote right here. Real nice. So let's go ahead and hop in. There. Alright. So once you're in, you actually sit really low. And the door closes on its own because it's basically facing upwards. So this is actually kind of nice. You got a storage cubby here. I'm not sure what this would be for. Maybe your business cards or something. But what's nice is that I really like that space that they've got. I mean, I know it's from 2006, but it just seems to fit my phone just perfectly. It just kind of hangs out there. And if you have an iPhone, it's even thinner, so it'll fit even better. So thanks, Aston Martin from 2006. Let's see what else we have. Over here, we got I would hesitate to call this an ashtray because it's got the cigarette lighter or the socket right here. But it's also bound in leather, so I'm not sure if you should maybe keep change in there or something. I don't know. Air conditioning, AC controls are down here. Radio presets. Oh, and check this out. Instead of a traditional shifting setup, like something like a knob or a stick, you have buttons. So engine starts in the middle, park, reverse, neutral, drive. Really nice. What else we have? Oh, you got the shift paddles right here. Now this is a traditional automatic transmission from ZF. So while it's pretty good, it's not as fast as, it's not snappy like a double clutch would be. Got the window controls right here. Now the headlight controls are over here. It's a little awkward at first because they're kind of pointing downwards, but it's not bad. You know, it's a pretty traditional setup. Of course, you have your steering wheel mounted controls, volume, cruise control. So we got the key here. Let's give this a start. It's a bit of a unique key too. Look at that. It's not a traditional tumbler setup. I think these uses a set of rotating discs, so it's a little harder to pick. So yeah, you just take the key, put it in the hole, turn it. Now, you can't turn it any further because you have to start the engine here. So, foot on the brake. Look at that. I didn't like that for a cold start. Well, warm start. I had to drive the car here. But man, this sounds really good. Yeah, the headlights, these are high beams and turn signals. Real nice. So yeah, let me get my seatbelt on and we'll take this for a quick spin. Oh, one more thing before I take it for a spin. I had to find the seat controls because I was a little uncomfortable. They're not on the side. And not on the door like a Mercedes-Benz. They're here on the center console. So you kind of... And what's nice is that they position them in the way they're not like, you know, your knee isn't bashing into them. It's on your thigh. And it doesn't seem to move around much. So I like that. I dig it. So yeah, let's take this, put it in drive, and we're rolling. I love this waterfall dash design. It's just elegant, beautiful. Now, when I'm test driving the car, unfortunately, I can't, you know, we don't have any mountain roads. This is Florida after all, so it's pretty much just straight lines all the way through. So while I'm on these test drives, we don't really have cool Pacific Coast Highway or mountain roads to drive the cars on. So it's Florida, it's mostly straight lines, but I can tell you that the suspension is firm, but still pretty decently comfortable. It's not like back braking or anything like that. But it's not so soft that it hinders the performance or handling feeling. It actually feels pretty good. But this car is more about cruising, just going in straight lines and having fun. So let me drop a couple of gears and let me just roll through the gears real quick. Well, paddle through the gears, I guess. There we go. And that's actually something I really like about the transmission. It'll actually shift down to first. Some automated manuals, to put it back in automatic, some of the automated manuals won't shift down to first, which is really annoying. So I like that this one doesn't have that problem. Alright guys, so I'm going to start heading back to the dealership. This car is for sale at Autosport Group in Delray Beach. I'm going to leave a link to their website in the description as well as their contact information if you're interested in this car or any other car they might have on the dealership lot. And yeah, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and check them out. Thanks. Bye. Oh, of course, one last thing I forgot to mention. So here's the door handle. But how could I forget the awkward handbrake that people love to say that it's awkward? It's really not that bad. It's right here. It's on the side instead of being on the center console like most cars. But you have to use it. You just pull up and that's it. So to set the parking brake, you set it and then it goes back down. And then when you want to release it, you lift it up again, and then you push the button, and it goes back down like a normal handbrake. I don't know what's the big deal about it. It's just on the side.